New confirmed information and details about No Man's Sky here on Cobra TV. So let's dig into some of this information that's been surfacing from the Game Informer. The map has multiple zoom levels. The furthest one shows the entire galaxy. Next one allows you to fly through the stars and chooses one to scan. Scanning a star shows info on the solar system, like if you may find special resources or how many planets. If the system has been discovered, you see extra info like what class of space station is and which planets have been explored. You can zoom to planetary level next, and if the planet was discovered, you see the marks of interest and the things that were found on that planet. Sean Murray and the devs talk about multiplayer. The map will show you where your friends are, and there may be in-game messaging that they've hinted around to, but that is all for now on the in-game chat. The first time you see another player is the first time you'll realize what your character looks like. I think will surprise people in terms of how they look. He says you'll only see them as a suit, so you still won't know what you look like inside. It still doesn't answer for people whether you are an alien or whether you're a human, or what you look like. Let's take a look inside the Game Informer magazine of what they're saying about the multiplayer. It's titled A Different Kind of Multiplayer. Hello Games receives all kinds of questions about the multiplayer, with people excited to play with their friends. Managing Director Sean Murray wants to dispel all that talk. I think when people see the galactic map, they are going to fully realize what it means to be that far away from somebody else who's playing. And I know that that's a bit weird for people, but it's what's different about our game, and we want to embrace that. We don't want people just scouting off with their friends. I actually want people to boot up the game and just think, isn't the universe huge? Who are we? What are we all doing here? Outside of seeing your friends' stats and their locations on the galactic map, so I guess that is a confirmed thing that we can see at where everybody's at. It goes on to say, you will likely never meet up with them, though an in-game messaging system has been teased. The closest comparison is the multiplayer in Journey, except it will be far more rare. Other players won't have their online handle floating above them. They won't be able to voice chat if they're in a ship. Now, we're driving around these high-tech spaceships and we don't have a way to hail anybody. We don't have a way to communicate with our ship's comm center. Not sure that's a really good idea, but let's keep reading. If they're in a ship, you might fly past them without ever knowing they're a real person. Now I beg to differ. The way a person's going to be playing a game and the way that the AI is going to be flying is going to be two different things. An AI is going to be nearly as perfect as it can be based upon the way it was designed to fly and act. A online player is going to be acting erratically. They're going to, I mean, for crying out loud, what if you see them land and get out? So let's keep reading. In fact, the first time you see another player will be the first time you realize what your character looks like. I think we will probably surprise people in terms of how they look, Murray says. You effectively see their suit, so you won't know what's inside. It still won't answer for people whether you are an alien or whether you're a human, or what you look like. Now we move on to a section called the economy. To progress in any way, players need to earn money called units. Fortunately, almost everything you do results in a deposit into your bank account. Blowing up ships, gathering resources, and selling them. And discovering anything new, planets, points of interest, and creatures are just a few examples. Players mine resources by using their gun and grenades to blast clusters of valuable cubes, shown only in scanning mode. Hauling product to the next system to sell at a higher price can be lucrative but pricey. Hyperdrive fuel and cargo space share the same storage, so you'll have to do some calculating to determine what's worth it. So that's pretty cool. You have to make some pretty immersive decisions there. Drop or keep. Trading posts are dotted around the planets to offer a way to get business done without flying up into space to go to a space station all of the time. So that's good. There's a lot of space stations on the planet, and you won't have to make those trips out into space every single time that you need to. They mentioned in the Game Informer that they went to a space station. It was busy with a manner of ships coming and going. You can use this as a way to scout cool procedurally designed ships as well. You can't customize your ship, so you have to follow any that catch your eye back to the space station and buy it there. You can't customize your ship. Okay, so at least that's out there. We know that for a fact. You cannot customize your ship. If you're feeling bold, you can stake out the trading post and attack the ships as they arrive. This pays off for a while, but eventually the space station in that system is going to release a galactic police force on you. Even if you manage to survive and get away, the police remembers you and are most likely to attack unprovoked. Various factions throughout the galaxy also keep tabs on your actions and respond with warmth or aggression depending on how you treat them. So it sounds like we can make a definite reputation that's going to follow us through the universe. Other trading posts are specialized for specific upgrades to your spacesuit and weapons. Not every store stocks the same inventory in addition to specific items. Shops also have ratings that determine the general quality of goods they can sell. If you're looking to enhance your shield or laser, you have to find that exact type of store and hope it's rated high enough to sell that caliber of upgrade that you need. A space station populates every solar system, and the general shape indicates the quality of items within. Multiple docking bays across other surfaces mean that there's always an open parking spot. You hop out and you can browse trading cargo goods or stroll down the line of ships, checking out their stats and prices. Generally, the available stock consists of whoever happens to be currently visiting. You can see the ships coming in and going out, and you might see a ship that you really want to buy, then all of a sudden it just takes off and it'll be gone. You'll have to wait and see if it comes back, or go out after it. It goes on to say, this is an interesting part in the article, that when some of these space stations look at a spherical Death Star from Star Wars or Star Trek Borg cube, they may be curious as to what happens if you shoot it. Pretty much everyone within a short space of time of playing the game will turn around and start attacking space stations from what we've seen, Murray says. While you cannot blow them up completely, a space station needs to remain in every solar system so players can buy a ship if they need one. You can damage them enough that their quality ranking drops. Hello Games doesn't reward you for damaging these structures, but you can earn units and resources from destroying any police ships that emerge from it to attack you. It's not something that we are encouraging, but we want this place to feel real, Murray says. We want people to feel that this is a real working universe. Most skills and stats are rated on a scale of 1 to 5. Your suit and weapon, dubbed the multi-tool, both experience permanent upgrades that don't vanish on death. Ships cannot be upgraded. You simply buy a new one. Some of the stats include shields, laser beam, plasma shot, rapid fire shot, energy torpedo, wing, affects maneuverability, hull, separates stats to allow landing in toxic and corrosive and radioactive environments, engine, general speed, and hyperdrive, hyperspace jump distance. So those are some of the things you're going to be looking at while you're trying to find a ship to buy at one of these space stations. The next section we're going to be talking about is combat. No Man's Sky planets are populated with procedurally generated creatures and plant life to discover. The massively varied animals can all be scanned and uploaded to the Common Player database. You get worldwide credit and a unit payout for being the first to see the particular purple jungle cat with large shoulders and red eyes, for example. However, you get no additional credits if you pull out your weapon and kill it. The team does not want to provide an incentive to wipe out every living thing that passes before your eyes, but will not stop you if that's what you're into. Animal lovers can live in harmony with nature, but they might have to sacrifice their principles to survive an unprovoked attack. The malevolent force that's in the universe isn't so evil after all. They are actually there to protect the universe and keep it as calm and quiet and peaceful as possible. If you're out blowing stuff up or killing animals and stuff like that, this malevolent force is going to attack you and try and stop you and bring a peaceful balance. If you're just walking around looking at grass and scanning things, then you're going to be fine. They won't attack you, but they will step in and attack you if you start messing some stuff up. Even doing something as simple as blowing stuff up for resources. They're not going to like that too well. But the Malevolent Force it's a robotic entity. It's a robotic army, so to speak, for lack of better words. And the part of the article reads, this is where the Malevolent Force comes in. The robotic enemy army isn't all that malevolent as for motivations go. They are simply trying to maintain the balance of the universe. On some planets they patrol, keeping an eye out for anyone who kills creatures, carves out resources, or generally changes the environment. If you're just strolling around scanning things in, they leave you alone. If you draw their attention, they attack like traditional first-person shooter enemies. These are the ancient machines that are trying to keep you in line. Grant Duncan, one of the artists for Hello Games, he's quoted saying that these guys are like the low-level AI that have been left behind by whoever created them. Cold and unfeeling, these machines are programmed to eliminate anomalies quickly and get back to patrols. They're not going to be procedural in the same way, Duncan explains. They will be constant in the universe. Here's the information for early access and beta possibilities. When you consider that the procedurally generated universe that Hello Games has created already exists, it's easy to wonder what the game team is working on for the rest of the development. What kinds of tasks are still on the list? We're making the universe more interesting. We're making the mechanics more interesting, deeper. Things like that. Managing Director Sean Murray says, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I want it to be finished before it comes out. And that is great news from a developer. You know, we've had so many games that are released as a beta, and it's just an unfinished game. And I just, I'm tired of that. And I really respect that these guys are wanting to release a full finished game. This means there will be no early access or open beta testing. So that is definitely something that I do not have a problem with. I'd rather just wait for the game to be completely finished. And take a look at some of these ships that we have here. Just some really beautiful designs. Then it talks about the space battles and how the AI can help each other heal, and some of the bigger ships can help protect some of the smaller ships. But then we get to a part where it says choosing the right weapon for the job is crucial as well. Lasers specialize in melting shields, while plasma projectiles do heavy damage to ship hulls. Torpedoes pack a punch, but they're not quite as fast as the others. Another incentive for changing up weapons is to manage the cooldowns. Thankfully, you don't have to pop into space situations to buy ammo, nor worry about running out in the middle of a firefight. So that's good. There's no ammo to run out of. I thought they would at least have a power source, a power supply that you would run out of. And then we get to the section where he's talking about when your ship is destroyed or when you're dying. When your ship is destroyed. If your ship is destroyed, you can still use a bare bones life pod to get you to a nearby planet or space station. Your ship and whatever cargo it was carrying is lost. Your bank account remains intact though, and as do all of your suit and weapon upgrades. So the only thing we're losing here is the ship. Though you have to build up the funds to buy a new ship before you can leave the solar system again. If you die on foot, you simply teleport back to wherever your ship is parked, and losing anything that you collected since you last checked in with it. So while you are out gathering resources and stuff like that, I guess you have to bring it back to your spaceship in order to drop it off and say, bam, I've got it. If you die while you're out, the respawn is directly right back at your ship. So that's pretty much cleared up for us. The risk of death and frustration increases the closer you get to the center of the galaxy. Losing your ship and having no money in the center of the galaxy is a tough story, but it is totally possible to bounce back from that. It's just going to take you some time, Murray says. You're sitting there going, right, my next few hours are just going to get back on the ladder to where I was. But that makes it meaningful. I know that's tough, but when you have been surviving in DayZ for a week and then you get killed, it hurts. But it leads to a really cool story. Now, I like that. That statement that he just made right there is just phenomenal. We are dealing with just truly wonderful developers here at Hello Games. I have such respect for them. So the journey to the center of the Earth, how long would it take us? That's been a question we've been asking a lot, especially here on Cobra TV. And the current estimate is 40 to 100 hours. The minimum amount is for the players that go straight for the end goal. You know, they miss, they skip, they just do whatever is humanly possible just to keep going and going and going and to just get to the end. So it sounds like rushing it, you know, just bomb rushing the game is going to take at the minimal of 40 hours. But Hello Games has said they have full control over the size and spacing of the galaxy and can tweak it or shorten or lengthen that journey. Any of that tinkering will be done over the time of the game before the game actually comes out. We're not going to sit there saying people are getting to the center too early. Stop them. So then we come to another thing that we've been talking about, speculating in a couple of the videos, portals, jumping from, going through a portal and jumping to another location. Along the journey, players can get a taste of planets up ahead if they come upon a rare alien temple. This rare alien temple is going to have these portals that you have to have a certain weapon combination to be able to enter, sort of like a weapon combination to enter like in Metroid. These teleport you to random planets closer to the center of the galaxy. You have no idea what mysteries, riches, or dangers await on the other side. You also do not have your ship with you, so there's no way to leave the atmosphere. The idea is that you explore and fill your pockets as much as you can dare before running back to safety through the portal back to your spaceship. As to what's at the center of the galaxy, Hello Games plans to keep it a secret and let players discover it for themselves. In my ideal world, they will make the journey and see what's there, and they will realize the game doesn't end at that point. Murray says, in some ways, it's like a beginning.